when we talk about adaptability, now we're taking it to the next level. Because of its container-based software stack, we're now enabling virtualized hosting on, virtualized hosting of the apps on the appliance. Now, I'll get more into that later and what that really means and how that's going to transform and change the landscape of infrastructure. But so this is the family tree, family picture. And what I wanted to note here is that PowerStore is designed with models that really offer increasing levels of memory performance and really giving us a true scale up and scale out architecture. Now, I want to note that there's actually two types of PowerStore models. There's the Model T, which is down here, and that's really more designed for SAN and or NAS storage. It's not really or, it's actually and. So you can actually have both SAN and NAS within the same infrastructure running simultaneously. And then there's the PowerStore X model, which is actually SAN storage with an integrated hypervisor for VMware and what they call apps on functionality. And I will get into that a little bit more within the next slides. So again, I'll take a pause here for just a second to make sure that everyone's still alive. If you have any specific questions, feel free. Like I said, we have the chat room open. We have people monitoring the chat room. So if you have specific questions on any of the functionality, we will do some Q&A at the end as well. So feel free to ask questions along. So let's talk about the Model T for just a second. And then really, again, this is more designed for SAN and NAS deployments. And this is what you would begin more traditional, you would think of more traditional storage, but it also can handle more modern workloads today. And this is where the game changer is. So let's talk about the Model X and what it does. So now admins can also deploy apps directly on the PowerStore X model. And this is what Dell is calling apps on. So let's talk about where this might be possible use cases. And I'll kind of put it in a frame of where our customers see this and where they're looking to deploy these. So our customers are looking to utilize this feature in things like robo-locations. Maybe you have data intense workloads in the core or edge, things like antivirus software, maybe monitoring software. And again, it's being able to run those apps directly on the storage. And this is a game changer here when you start talking about our customers looking to consolidate, or maybe they're looking at today they have maybe a 3-tier model in their virtualized environments, or maybe they're looking at hyper-converged. This is actually, again, a game changer when we say trying to consolidate maybe those workloads when it comes to either storage and or the compute. Sorry. And when we talk about adaptability, what does that really mean? And it really just takes it one step further with features like data in place upgrades. And what that does is it allows our customers to really modernize their infrastructure. I think one of the biggest challenges that our customers have when they start to change their infrastructure or modernize their environment is how do they migrate their data? And that is the biggest pain point that our customers have told us that they go through. Moving data from platform to platform is really the biggest challenge that they do. So there was a question about, is this going to be an addition, or is this going to be replacing older platforms? So right now, I will say that this is the future of storage. There's no plans on the roadmaps to replace any of the storage, but when you start talking about the innovations that PowerStore brings to the table. Our customers, when they start doing their tech refreshes or when they start looking at modernizing their environments, this is where they're going to look. So that's a great question. Like when you talk about compellant, or where is that going to be replacing infrastructure later on? So back to the migration discussion. When you talk about moving the data, um, sorry, when you talk about the data, there are actually native tools for platforms like Unity, Compellant, uh, even VNX. So that really ends the need for migration, because the migrations are actually, the data is actually moved using the native tools of those platforms. So that kind of tied into what I want to discuss at the end. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of eliminating a lot of the need for migration, plus the scalability of PowerStore enables you to grow as your infrastructure grows. And one other thing I wanted to talk about, which I will also go through at the end of this presentation, is the user interface. It's really a very simplified approach to managing PowerStore. And I do have a quick demo at the end of this discussion, but I wanted to take a pause if there was any other questions uh, from the audience to see if there was anything more. So when we're talking about migration, so the native tools are built into Unity, the SC series, which is Compellant, um, and VNX. Now, I also say if you there in a future release, also Extreme IO will be added to that. The other thing I wanted to mention too is if you have tools like vPlex or utilizing vMotion, you could use those tools to actually migrate from other platforms, and that's what our customers are actually looking at as well.